Welcome to another porn-free FAQ where I answer frequently asked questions about the process of quitting porn and rebooting your brain. And today, the question I'm going to be looking at is, what is a flatline and how long is it going to last? Okay, this is a good question because if you run into flatline, well, you're going to be a little concerned. You're like, what the heck is happening? So flatline, this is a term that you probably have heard tossed around in, if you've been frequenting any of the porn recovery sort of forums and communities and that sort of thing. And it's a term used to describe a few different kinds of phenomena that are very common in the process of quitting porn and rebooting your brain. And so we're going to walk through some of those, two of those core definitions and explain a little bit about them. All right. So the first one, the most common way this is used is referring to a sexual flatline. Okay. And in a sexual flatline, what happens is usually kind of everything goes flat. And what I mean by that is that often guys will go through this period in their reboot, maybe, a few weeks in or whatever, they'll hit this point where all of a sudden they have no sex drive. They have no libido. Like they're not getting morning wood. They don't even have like the desire to look at women or look at porn or anything like that. And like this freaks some guys out. Because, here they are, they're trying to quit porn, and usually it's really intense, all this sexual tension and stuff, and then all of a sudden it's like nothing. It's like nothing's there. And this will, understandably, people get a little concerned about this. And the worst thing that you can do in this kind of situation is test yourself. And this testing, it refers to looking at porn to see if you can still get hard. Guys essentially panic, and they're like, oh my gosh, my stuff's not working down there anymore. I got to see if it works. Don't do that, okay? That's just, opening yourself up for a relapse. Instead, just stay the course. Stay the course. The fact that you're going through a flat line is evidence that you were heavily addicted, because that's not going to happen in someone who's mentally healthy around sexuality. Like if their brain's all healthy around it. Taking a break from sex is not going to cause everything to shut down. I believe that this whole shutdown process it's a side effect of your brain trying to rewire itself to a more natural and normal sexual dynamic. All right. It's like you've been bombarding it with all this stimulation. And so now it's not getting it, it's kind of like, okay, crap, we got to change. So let's just shut down the whole thing and we'll start rebooting it back up once things get a little bit healthier. One of the best ways to look at a sexual flatline is to just look at it as easy streak. If you're aiming for 90 days or beyond for, porn free, then if you're in flatline, well, then things just got really easy for you. Don't freak out. Don't fight it. It's going to go away eventually. So you got to at least pay attention to yourself, but don't freak out. Just let it happen. Let those days accumulate and let the healing, occur. And that's really all there is to it on that end. Now, on the other side of things, there is a different kind of flatline, and this refers more to an emotional flatline. And when guys go through this, what ends up happening is that their emotionality kind of goes limp. Okay, and there can be a number of factors involved. I think part of what's going on is that your dopaminergic circuitry is going through a bit of an overhaul. Okay, and when it's doing that, things just don't seem too appealing. Nothing seems exciting. You can feel kind of depressed. You can feel disengaged. Sometimes there's irritability and stuff involved as well. And, this is normal. This is normal. I think it's like your brain just kind of being pissed off that it's not getting fed the dopamine from the sources that it usually would get it from. And so there's going to be side effects on the psychological level. And sometimes this low mood and, unhappiness and irritability and feeling kind of numb or whatever, this is part of it. And I think there might be another aspect to this whole emotional flatline, which is kind of the emergence of repressed issues. So if you've been using porn to deal with certain kinds of things, been using, nuking your brain with porn to kind of push this feeling away or that problem away or whatever, well, as you spend some time away from porn, all of a sudden this kind of stuff starts to rise to the surface, and it can leave you feeling not so happy and not so inspired. So the big thing here is to recognize that this period is not permanent, especially if you adopt a holistic approach to this reboot where, you're not just cutting one thing out, but you're trying to change. You're trying to actually live a life that you want to be engaged in, not one that you want to just constantly escape from. So with both kinds of flatline here, just keep going. Just keep going. Don't freak yourself out, and then don't turn back to porn, because as long as you don't turn back to porn, you can leave this thing behind and you're not going to have to keep facing it. If you keep reaching flatline, relapsing, and going back into porn, well, guess what? You're going to have to go back through that flatline again at some point, right? So just get it done, right? What is the term or the saying? It's like, if you're going through hell, keep going. And for most guys, it's actually not that bad. It was pretty, it was pretty rough for me, but I made it. It wasn't going to kill me. It just sucked for a period. And so that will pass. Just take care of yourself, do the right thing, and you're going to be on the other side before you know it. So that's what I have for you guys today. Hope you found this useful. Stay sharp. I'll see you in the next one. If you're ready to kick your porn habit and start thriving in real life rather than living in a fantasy, then check out my free Reboot Regimen Guide by clicking the link in the description. In it, I'll teach you the system of simple lifestyle and habit shifts that I've used to help thousands of guys quit porn and transform their lives. Also, if you want to see more content like this, then you just need to press 2 buttons, the subscribe button and then the bell button to turn on notifications. And if you could leave a like while you're at it, I'd really appreciate it.